It's a bit cold in here right now, isn't it? A little bit chilly. We live in an age where pretty much everything we do is logged online via social media. Here's me with my friends. Here's me at a concert. Or it didn't happen. Here's me eating a slice of toast. Yay. Here's me watching some paint dry. The list goes on. And therein lies the problem that manufacturers have. And that is what I want to discuss in this video. Back in the olden days when microwaves ran on coal, it was much harder to get any problems that you might be experiencing out there. What might you do? Well, you might make a complaint, or you might write into a program like Watchdog in the UK, a consumer complaints program, consumer relations program. And if they received enough complaints about one issue, they might warrant it a problem and approach the manufacturer to see if something could be done. But that is a slow process and transient as yesterday's paper gets thrown away. Now, in an age where the internet seems to know everything and AI knows even more, if there is any problem, if there is anything that has gone awry with a brand, it's out there pretty quickly and there is no hiding that whatsoever. Now, the issue I want to talk about in this video is an issue not specific to the Taycan, but there is a lot of noise about it, and it is the Taycan famous heater problem. If you're in the market for a Taycan, or you have one already, you probably know that the heater may fail at any point. And if you look through the forums, you might be forgiven for thinking that this is the biggest problem ever to happen in the face of Porsche. Now, here's the issue I have with this. I need to caveat this right off the bat by saying that the Taycan is an absolutely wonderful car. It is brilliant. This isn't a Taycan bashing video whatsoever. The car is phenomenal, and this one, when I test drove my first one, I was blown away. And it is still a great car, so do not let this put you off. If you look through the forums, you would be forgiven for thinking it is the worst car ever made. And of course that wouldn't really be fair on the PT Cruiser, would it? Which is pretty diabolical. But this is the problem with forums. In the UK, the default weather setting is grey or drizzly most of the time. So people tend to err on the side of glass half empty. And if something's gone wrong, they're only too happy to let other people know about it by way of internet forums. So there is a lot of bashing going on. But do not let that get in the way. It hasn't put me off. Taycan is a great car and I'm enjoying this every time I get in it. And if the heater goes wrong, well, it's just something you've got to deal with. Cars do go wrong. Now, what exactly is the problem here? What is going wrong? Well, the Taycan air conditioning system, the heating system, and the battery cooling system, it's all quite complex, but it needs to be so in order to maintain the temperature of the batteries so that they are working at optimum temperature and can be charged properly, and also to cool them down if they're getting too hot. But the system specifically involved in this issue is for the cabin heating. Now, obviously in an ICE car, you have an engine. That engine is of course your source of heat, which provides hot air into the cabin in cold weather. In a Taycan, you don't have an engine, you've got motors. So there's two options you've got here. There is the slightly more complex heat pump option, which this car has. And there is also a heating element option. It's not an air heating element option, it is a water heating element option, because it's just a far more efficient way of providing hot air into the cabin than blowing air over a heating element, which is very inefficient. So all Taycans have this, whether you've got the heat pump as an extra option to heat the air more efficiently or not. and it is a Webasto HVH, which is a very crude reservoir for water. It has water fed through it and a heating element in it, so it heats water. It is that very simple unit. But unfortunately what seems to be happening is the element is burning out, and therefore you can no longer get heat into the cabin. And you might think, well, that's fine, just put a jacket on it. It is a bit more of a problem than that though, especially in very cold weather, because the condensation builds up in the car and you can't demist the car, so the car is effectively undrivable. But it's not a problem just unique to the Taycan. The Taycan shares a platform with that Audi RS e-tron, and also the Jaguar I-Pace uses the same unit as well. So if you look through the forums there, yes, they do indeed have the same issue going on. So it's not ideal. And what are Porsche doing about it? Well, they have acknowledged it now, which is great, because you have to these days. As I said, if something's gone wrong, everyone knows about it very quickly. So it's more a damage limitation, but Porsche have acknowledged it. And if yours goes wrong, they'll provide you with a loan car, which is great. It could be a Taycan or it could be a rental car, but if they do, make sure it's something decent. This is, after all, a very expensive car, and one that you should be getting a good replacement for. So make sure you get something decent. And I do see all kinds of stories here, and some horror stories about it taking weeks to replace the unit because of stock, and others where it's done in a few days, which is fantastic. But what they are doing is they are prioritizing new Webasto heating units away from the production lines for new cars to fix the broken cars, which is great news if yours is broken. Not so good if you're waiting for a new car. But I think it's fair, because if you're out there and you've got a car that you can't use, that you're paying for, you want it fixed. At least technically when your car hasn't been delivered yet, you know, the money hasn't exchanged, and it's just a bit longer for you to wait for that new car. So not an ideal situation, but a situation nevertheless. But that is the point of this video. Cars, they'll always go wrong regardless of how good they are. I mean, the Tesla had a heat pump issue as well, right? So, you know, cars do go wrong. It's just part of car ownership. And unfortunately, this car has had a bit of bad press around on the forums because of this issue, but don't let it get in the way. If we look at numbers here, it's very hard to ascertain how many have gone wrong. Taycan has been produced to the order of over 100,000 units now, and let's say the failure rate's 5%, which is not unreasonable for what I'm reading. It's hard to pinpoint the figure exactly. That's still 5,000 cars that Porsche have to fix, which is far from ideal, but it is an issue nevertheless. But I just wanted to say, do not let it get in the way of this car, because it is a great car, and if you have one coming or you've got one on order, you will absolutely love it, I guarantee you. So that is it for this video. We had to discuss the issue that everyone is talking about. I wanted just to bring it to your attention. Don't let it get in the way. Don't let it cloud the potential decision-making process if you're thinking about it. Honestly, it's a great car, and if you get one with a heater unit that's been the newer version that's been fixed, shouldn't be an issue for you going forward. That's it for this one. Take care, stay safe. See you on the next one. Bye for now.